from the cabinet to the studio, where we are going to have a conversation with the CEO, Lilian Kimeto, to understand the place of Yearbook in government communication. Welcome on set.
Thank you very much, Michuma.
It's very important for us to understand the Kenya Yearbook.
First, I want to thank you very much for having me here today. You know you're our sister agency, so it's always a pleasure to be here. Probably also I would like to a man who shaped my life, Leonard Mambo Mbetela. May his soul rest in eternal peace. The Kenya Yearbook Editorial Board is a state corporation that has been established to put together the country's yearbook. What is a yearbook, you will ask me, Muchuma? It is information that has been put together, touching on every sector of society over a period of time, and it documents. It becomes a record of a country's milestones, achievements, culture, the soul of that nation. And that is what we do for our great country. We execute our mandate, we publish it, and once we publish it, we then use it to convey messages, convey information to the people on the immense opportunities that exist in our country, and even the potential that is here to be tapped. We use it to, I've already said, document our country, you know, whether it's our culture, our history, our achievements, our priorities as a nation, and even our, you know, the past speaks to the future. The past dictates of a nation. Through the yearbook, we explain the actions, the programs that the government of Kenya has put in place so that the society that Kenyans desire is achieved. Through it, we also look at the country from what is it that makes Kenyans Kenya, and what is it that makes Kenya. So in a nutshell, that is what we do, Mchuma.
You've talked about culture, heritage, and I also want to bring in researchers that the Kenya Yearbook is taking part in. How is the country utilizing these opportunities in understanding the culture, the heritage from your platform?
We Kenya Yearbook from 2010. The 2010 yearbook, for example, was published around the time when the country had received the Constitution of Kenya. You can imagine the rich history. Many years down the road today, you and I might not remember, but when you visit that document, that publication, you are able to get the nuances, the information that takes you back in time. So that is what we have continually done. And you can see it speaks to very peculiar times of our, for example, 2010 when we had the new constitution. I will fast forward to the yearbook 2024. It's a very, it has a name. The yearbook 2024 is, and why Alakara? Alakara is a Turkana word for resilience, being hopeful, being thankful and grateful. And if you look at that term, it just Kenyans. We are such a resilient nation. We are such a resilient people. And we looked at the country from every sector, whether it's the bottom-up economic agenda, whether it's tourism. We looked at our journey as a nation in all those sectors, and the sum total just depicts the kind of nation. And the other thing that we do is, when we are publishing the yearbook, we look at, there are many government ministries, departments, and agencies that aggregate data. So we package it together in a structured and professional manner, putting it's a one-stop shop, and it's a it then becomes for someone who would like to research, someone who would like to understand policy in Kenya, or just somebody who would like to go through, have a walkthrough of this country called Kenya.
I'll take you back. It's capturing the cultural bits and the heritage bits of this country. But you see, all this is storytelling. Why is storytelling important to the society?
Muchuma, storytelling is a primary human communication. Primary in this sense, two human beings like myself and yourself have to arrive at an understanding about a particular subject or a particular something. We have to share a narrative. I have to give you a narrative. I have to buy you in. And once I am able to convince you through my narrative, then we share a meaning. That is the science of storytelling. Say that Kenya Yearbook is Kenya's print national storyteller.
Besides being a CEO and from where you sit, yes. I'm looking at you as a communication specialist, and I would like you to tell us the position of communication specialist in the right thing. Are we doing enough in informing the public?
First, I must say that Kenya has a very robust and there are tremendous minds out there, and if I look at the role they play in society, whether they are journalists, whether they are public relations practitioners, whether they are digital communication experts, all these people do one thing. They package stories. They package content, and this content becomes useful for, in the science of communication, we are always seeking to build an engagement, for me to seek your goodwill and your support in something that I'm doing, I must convince you, I must get into your mind, attitude towards whatever it is, win your belief, win your own behavior. So that is the science of communication. And so it becomes very important because as a society, there are always emerging things that are coming. Let me take, for example, a case where government, not even the government generally, but communicators in Kenya have been very important. Literacy. I know of many communication experts that have been very useful in getting Kenyans into financial inclusion. I know of many of them who have understand opportunities that exist in society by sharing information, and once people get that information, they become empowered. So communicators are very important people because scientists that look into how can we curate messages in such a way that they are convincing, they are persuasive, and those messages in society.
Kenya Yearbook plays a very key role in communication when it comes to government. And looking at it, you have been in place for 18 years. What are some of the achievements, the key achievements that you would talk of?
We've done tremendous things at Kenya Yearbook. As I said, from our first yearbook in 2010 down to 2024, we have done the cabinet series. I think I saw CS Kimeto. So we've done the cabinet series for Mzee Kenyatta, President Moi, President Kibaki, President Uhuru, and that is a journey. And this history is very important, Muchuma, is context. It helps us to have context even in our governance and the issues that affect us as a society. We of ministries, departments and agencies to do their publications, whether it's the economic survey, whether it's the MTF reports. We have just supported the State Department for Foreign Affairs to do their publication, 60 years of diplomacy. When Kenya was out in Paris for the Olympics, we did an Olympic souvenir, and so we do publications for the different sectors, and that makes us the go-to institution for high-level, professionalized and quality publishing.
With all this in place, what are the challenges that you think we should highlight?
Society is always having one too, but I think for us, we just like Alakara, I'd say we are a very resilient institution. Living by our mandate, we are delivering for Kenyans, sharing with Kenyans the important information that they need. I will tell you, Muchuma, information is very, very people and supports people to make decisions. For example, this week someone was talking to me about the financial markets, and you get very deep insights and sound financial decisions. So I consider ourselves to be a very strategic institution because we are part of this ecosystem that is helping our society get accurate information, well-packaged information, and it helps to build knowledge in them. And this knowledge then becomes very useful in changing the lives of people and empowering the lives of our people.
Not so far from what the Broadcasting House does, communication, informing and educating. But then I'm looking at it in this perspective. Where will Kenya Yearbook be a couple of years? What are the goals that we've put in place in enlightening the public more, especially in enhancing the products that Kenya has?
Just like any other entity or agency that is in the communication, we are in a very new space of technology, and the future of communication, the future of publishing where we are, and even the future of broadcasting for yourselves is. And so we are very much alive to that and responding to the use of technology to reach our target audience, to improve our products, to just create uniqueness as an agency in the communication space. Muchuma, the world has moved online. We have digital citizens, and a lot of communication is happening there. And an agency like ours is very important because we then provide online hygiene in the kind of communication that is going there, well packaged. If you look at our content, it's very well packaged, and so we have the time, and we are going into the space where it is digital, the space where the reading habits of Kenyans have really, and we are responding using the technology and just creating efficiency in the way we package our products and how we get it last mile to our readers.
What is the performance? We talk about information that is being accessed online, especially from the Kenya Yearbook.
I would say online is the ocean where everyone is, part of that ocean. And what we do is we ensure that our products, as I've said, are professionally done, produced, understand, we have, let me give you an example. We have a product that we call InfoBite. And this is to respond to the reading habits of the reader today. You know, if it is not beyond a certain number of words, with the age of in this age of information overload. So we have endeavored to create products readers quickly consume this information based on their readership habits or their information receiving habits. Cognizant of the internet age has just, you know, put everything there. So we leverage that technology to ensure that messages go out there in the right measure and we receive our audience where they are. I'd say I'm very happy that as an organization we continue to build engagement. Today, longer monologue, it's dialogue, it's engagement. For you to build trust with someone, you have to engage them. And through engagement, that is listen to you and they trust you and you can have a relationship.
Looking at the new products that we are looking at the Kenya Yearbook, what are these things that you think Kenyans should know about as we come to the close of this?
First to read the Yearbook 2024, we have told it through the eyes of the youth, and we have looked at every sector. We have actually had the youth to their stories. The youth down from Taptengele, to youth who are engaging in the digital economy, to youth who are engaging in tourism. And I must say that Kenya as a society has the most diligent young people. We want to connect with them. We want to hear their feedback. What is it that they'd like to see in the next edition? How do they want us to engage them? Because this is a highly, the digital natives, the people who are born after computer, are very different from me and you know, who were born before BBC, before computer. So we are continually innovating, we are continually listening, we are continually engaging so that we just make sure that what we do is indeed communication. Communication is a shared meaning. If you do not say a message that is shared on the other side, then that communication has not taken place.
Thank you, Lilian. Lilian Kimeto, CEO, Kenya Yearbook Editorial Board, taking us through the place of government communication. A few things we have learned, and for more details on that, log on to www.kbc.co.ke.